We're back with the bad vibe with Dwight and Jeremy.
This is episode 126.
It is.
Pick up sticks. Haven't had a 6 in a while, right? I guess 10.
10?
10 episodes.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have said 6. You would have said 16.
Oh, God, 106.
106 was the last 6.
Yeah. Anyways.
A while back.
All right, so Tyson and Holyfield.
Old man.
That's going to be an interesting fight if it really does.
I don't know if they're going to fight.
Yeah.
I know Tyson was going to do some kind of charity thing, and then Holyfield didn't like that Tyson was getting publicity, so he's like, I'll fight.
I think they're talking about the third match. I guess this will be the third time they fight, right?
Yeah.
So if they do, holy shit.
Holyfield.
Remember there's you think he's going to win?
No.
Tyson looks like...
I mean, I don't know. Back when
he looks like he's at his prime.
He really does. He just has some gray in his
I saw a video of him, and the way he was like...
I mean, that video is scary.
I was like, oh, fuck.
That's an old man. Like, he could be our dad, and he's hitting those pads. He's just so quick, and...
Like, his arms and that, you know what I mean?
But also, I mean, Holyfield's the same way, though. I mean, I haven't seen him hitting pads, but... I mean, he was a steroid freak, you know?
Yeah.
So he just has to hit the juice one more time, and... You know? It's like... I mean, I don't know, dude.
Grape juice?
Yeah. No,
so it is now?
It ain't grape juice. No. Prune juice?
Yeah, prune juice. Yeah, that's what it is.
But, I mean, it's... I don't know if... I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was way better than Tyson. He definitely beat him up, but... Tyson is the more scary guy.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Even though Holyfield beat him, so you're like, Holyfield, if you're scared of Tyson, Holyfield could definitely beat you up. It's not about getting beat up. Tyson is like, there's something visceral about him. Like, he scares you. Like, it just, if he comes in.
He's got those eyes, too.
Yeah, he's just, there's something. Like,
how old is he?
53, I think.
Oh, that's not as old as I thought.
Well, it seems like he should be older.
Yeah.
It seems like way long ago that he fought. But I don't know when his last fights were. But yeah, Holyfield, he's good and he's strong. And he obviously was the champ and he did all this.
Are they the same age?
I think Holyfield's probably a little bit younger.
Oh, really?
Just if I'm guessing.
Oh.
I don't know, but I would assume...
We do a lot of guessing on here.
Well, I would assume he's a little bit younger because it's like he came around. Like, when Tyson was young and doing all his shit, you never heard of Holyfield. It could also be, though, that Tyson was just so successful so young.
So did Tyson win first?
Yeah, Tyson was the champ in '86.
And then Holyfield won the second time?
No. I think Holyfield beat Tyson both times they fought.
Really?
Yeah.
How? I mean, how did Rocky beat the Russian? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the thing with Tyson is, though, and this is what you hear from, his old trainer, Teddy Atlas, trained him for a while back, and he was real young. And he said the problem with Tyson was that he didn't have when he got into a rough spot, it's like he didn't overcome things. So he was a good bully. He was good at being ahead. He was good at fighting people that were scared of him.
Yeah.
But if
someone isn't,
when he fought somebody that hit back or that was close to his skill level, he had a hard time because he would face this adversity, and for whatever reason, he didn't have.
He beat himself.
Yeah, he didn't have.
Holyfield's like, you taking it for me?
Yeah.
Are you taking the wins for me because you're saying that he won because he beat himself?
I mean, Holyfield obviously was
Tyson
great.
beat Tyson, not Holyfield beat Tyson.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was Holyfield beat Tyson. It was for whatever reason, when he was faced with adversity, it's like he didn't know how to push through it.
Isn't it funny that Tyson is a chicken?
Yes.
He's a black dude.
Are you saying that out loud?
It was mean chicken.
Yeah. You mean, I thought you meant he's a chicken he's scared.
No, he's black.
Yeah.
Chicken.
Tyson Chicken?
Right?
Why was his named after?
Tyson. Nah, I doubt that.
Yeah.
They've probably been around since 1840 or something.
There's always you'll hear about a company, it's like Nintendo started in 1883.
Yes, I saw that.
Something like that. And it's
it was a long time ago. They had board games.
What were the graphics like?
Yeah.
You know? It's Mario is just a dot. It's not even a dot because that was in the 70s. They had Pong.
We're talking about 1800s. It was board games or something like that. Card games, I think.
I think it was cards or something.
Yeah.
I mean, but it makes sense though because they made a certain kind of games, and then it.
Yeah, they've just always made the games that are popular and pushed the envelope.
I guess they are now again. Didn't you say Nintendo's kind of big now?
Oh yeah, they're huge right now. Yeah.
I haven't seen a Nintendo. I haven't played a Nintendo.
Yeah.
anything. I mean, like I had the old the original.
Was there a Tyson game on?
Yeah, Mike Tyson Punch Out or whatever.
Oh yeah,
it was fun, dude, because it was like, of course, it was Nintendo like graphics and shit, but it was boxing, and it was like, dude, fucking boxing game.
Are you him?
No, he's like the biggest boss.
He's a big guy, and like he was little, and you're going against him, right? Isn't that what it looked like?
I mean, he was big on the game.
Yeah.
I mean, in real life, he's not a very big guy.
No, but I mean, on the game, I think it looks like whoever you're going against is huge.
Yeah.
It was horrible graphics.
It was, but if you got to, because it was like an arcade style game where it's like, and so it's like levels, and then you like beat an easy guy, harder, and then you get to Tyson, and if you weren't real good, like it was impossible. He'd hit you one time and you're out.
Maybe they just looked real big because like Japanese people are so small. Right? Isn't it Japanese Nintendo?
Yeah. So when they were like, we gotta make Americans.
They look at us and we're huge.
They just make these fucking monstrous things.
So we're like, why do we look so big or why does the guy we're fighting look so big? It's because you're playing an Asian person fighting an American.
Yeah. Because to them, people is them. Like when they think of people, they think of Japanese people. And then when they think of like, well, Mike Tyson is an American, so we gotta make this monstrous thing. But yeah, Mike Tyson actually is like shorter than me and you.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he's a big, huge, fucking, even now, the way he's built, because there's something about Tyson, it's not like he just worked out and made these big muscles. There's stories of like, when he was like 12 or 13, his trainer, they would take him into the city to fight, and he's like, kind of like underground kind of illegal fights. Mm-hmm. And they would
looks like he would be like, that's it.
They were like unsanctioned fights they would take, because what you want is, there's people that have like fighters that are professional that they want to get practice in a real fight but not fuck up their record.
Yeah, I've seen movies.
Yeah, so they would take Tyson when he was like 12 or 13, but he would have to fight 16 and 17-year-olds because nobody would buy that he was 12. Yeah. They were like, fuck you, that kid's 12 years old. He was fucking, 5'8", 5'9", whatever, and 190 pounds when he was 12 or 13. God. So whatever he is, like even what he looks like now, he's like 5'10", 5'11", but his neck is wide, his shoulders are wide, he's V-shaped and all that. That's like that's genetic. Mm-hmm. It's whatever the fuck, like, whatever made, because there's people like that. There's freak athletes.
Yeah.
And it's rare, but Michael Jordan, LeBron James,
he flipped, like, Michael Jordan was a boxer and Tyson was a basketball player.
Tyson probably wouldn't be a good basketball player, but Michael Jordan would probably be a great boxer. Because Michael Jordan's whole thing...
I guess he's not thin. He's just so tall. He looks lanky.
He's not even all that. I mean, he's 6'6".
That's tall as shit.
It's tall, but it ain't tall for heavyweight boxing nowadays.
Well, that's like a foot taller than Tyson.
No, Tyson's like 5'11".
Oh.
But heavyweight boxing now, they're all... Like the champ, or one of the champs, how it's all stupid now. But what's his name? Tyson Fury's 6'9". And he beat the American, Deontay Wilder, is 6'7". So heavyweight fighters are all humongous tall guys now. And if you look at the old days, like fucking...
Because the reach.
Well, it's just like, these are the athletes that are coming around nowadays. And also, like, boxing it's not real popular, like, overall, but it's still big money for the big time. Like, those guys that I just mentioned are multi-hundred millionaires. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I saw a thing where it showed, like, what people get paid, and, like, Tiger Woods was like on the top always. Anytime he plays, he gets paid more than anybody.
Yeah.
And then like sometimes, and this is not just sports. This was like all entertainers.
Yeah.
And then like I think it was like Jay-Z or something. Somebody
what does he do for money?
Somebody passed him for a little bit. You know what I mean? But then it was like Tiger Woods a lot of the time, and then it started being boxers, and it was going by year to year, decades. And it was crazy seeing it go and fast forward like that.
Well, boxers are.
Tiger Woods still plays golf. I'm sure he still plays golf. But I mean, like, for money, right? He's been in so much trouble in and out.
Well, he got that trouble, and then after that, his career never fully bounced back. Yeah. But he's just getting to where he's getting older, and he has, like, medical issues. He's just not as good as he used to be. Mm-hmm. Which is so crazy, because it's golf. Most people retire to play golf. He's going to one day have to retire from playing golf.
Yeah.
At least professionally,
Yeah.
What's he gonna do? He's gonna retire from playing golf and go out and go to a factory. He just does the opposite.
Yeah, he goes to like work.
Yeah,
right.
But boxers though, there's not a lot of them don't make very much money. But the ones that do, it's still huge money. So if you're a 6'8" athlete, like crazy, one of those freak-born athletes, and you're 6'8", maybe you could get real good at basketball, maybe not. But if you could throw hands, I mean, why not get? Because that's what Deontay Wilder, the American, who was.
I don't know any of these people at all.
Well, anyway, Deontay Wilder is an American.
Tyson Fury, that just sounds made up.
Made up, but it's not. He's named after Mike Tyson. He was born in like '86 when Tyson was champ, and his dad. Here's the story. It's pretty interesting, actually. So he is an Irish traveler, like a gypsy. And so he's from, like, England, Ireland, that area, whatever.
He's not a black dude?
No. I know. You would think he is, right?
I was imagining a black dude.
Yeah.
And then you said Ireland, and I was like, a black dude with red hair. And I was like, I'm trying to think, like, I'm piecing it together.
You're like, little green top hat.
I'm like, all right, Fury. Okay, he's got an eye patch. Right? I'm like, all right.
No, he's a enormous British accented man, 6'9", 300 pounds. The guy that if you had to fight him, you're like, motherfucker. Like, I won't win. You know, if you have to fight him. But anyway, so he was born in 1986, premature. And he was like, there's like a pound. This little thing that barely fits in the palm of your hand. Hell? And the doctor told his dad, like, if he survives, he's going to be sickly. He'll never amount to much.
So he's a little bit older than me.
Yeah. And his dad said, he comes from a long line of fighters. And his dad told the doctor, no, you're wrong. He's going to be nearly 7 feet tall and the heavyweight champ of the world. And so I'm going to name him Tyson. So he's like, so I'm going to name him Tyson after the heavyweight champ of the world. Turns out motherfucker's 6'9". If you're a boxing person, if you watch him box, it's like, it doesn't even make sense. He moves like a middleweight. But he's 6'9" and not American. And that's the thing. Americans always are better athletes, typically. Something to do with slavery.
You're a lot of people off.
Yeah. But it's just true. They'll say it. Yeah. He even says, Tyson Fury says he tries to fight more like an American in some ways. European fighters stand straight up and just throw jabs and look like fucking those little robot toys you used to get. Rock 'em, sock 'em. And it's just the way it's always been. Is our people are more fluid. Well, he moves like an American. He moves like an American that weighs like 190 pounds. But I think the last time he fought at 275. And he beat up Deontay Wilder, who's like the big American hero. It's a black dude who was a basketball player. Hurt his knee real bad, couldn't play basketball. He just found out he just had these powerful hands, started boxing, and now he's a multimillionaire. But that's your boxing lesson for the day. But
I'm curious, if they end up fighting again, I would definitely like to see that.
If Tyson fights anybody,
it's going to be so much money.
Whoever Tyson fights, because he clearly is going to fight, and some people are saying Holyfield, whoever he fights, I'm going to watch. I mean, I want to see Mike Tyson fight.
Tyson Fury.
I mean, I would watch that, but
holy shit, right?
It would be sad to watch because you're going to see Mike Tyson get hurt real bad.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's a 30-something-year-old heavyweight champion of the world,
and he knows that.
Against an old man who, when he was in his, closer to his prime, was getting beat up by champs.
Wow.
Lennox Lewis dropped him, Holyfield, and of course, those are two of the great heavyweights of all time. I mean, top 10. But I'm saying, like, he's 50-something years old. If he fought Tyson Fury, it would be sad to watch. It was sad when Deontay Wilder fought him. But if that dude, Tyson Fury, walked in here now, like, just the idea, he seems like a fun, like, goofy guy, but the idea of somebody telling me, like, look, here's $20 million, you get to fight Tyson Fury, I'm like, I'm going to do it because I need the money, but fuck.
You might not live.
I mean, his fists are like the size of my head, like, not exaggerating. He's a enormous man. But anyway, dude, there's something I've been wanting to tell you.
You say that every day.
I'm a little bit late on this one.
Okay.
Have you ever watched Hoarders?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I've never watched it. I know what it was.
Oh, I know what it is. I don't like binge it or nothing.
Well,
I haven't seen it in years.
I watched like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
So I always just like, I get it. People's houses.
Whores on the borders.
Yeah, Hoarders.
Right?
It's Mexican whores.
Yeah.
No, if it was, I would have watched more than 3 episodes.
Yeah.
No, so I always knew it's like
wetbacks, but wet front cracks.
Yeah, exactly. So no, so I always knew like it's people like they don't want to throw shit away. I get it. It turns out after watching it, like I know and have known a couple of hoarders. Our ex stepdad's mom, Curtis's mom.
Oh, okay.
Remember, just her house was just.
Oh messy. Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah.
It was just, and we just thought like, oh yeah, her house is always gross. Now I like oh, you know how there were just trails in her house and there was shit stacked. I was telling my wife.
And her son.
and her son.
Her uncle.
Remember how weird it was that she had 2 kids.
You could not see his floor.
You could
when you walk in his room, it's on top of stuff.
The shit.
You're a foot taller.
No, the shit in his room was the height of his bed. His bed was flush with shit.
It was that? Wow.
Yeah. So his sister, weirdly enough, in the same house, had, I always said like a perfectly clean, immaculate room, but probably it just was fairly nice.
Yeah.
And by comparison. But their house had that thing, and I saw it on the show where there's trails in the house that you could walk through, and there's shit stacked. I mean, we were little kids, but I remember shit stacked shoulder high. You know, but she was a hoarder, and I just thought, like, her house is gross. I didn't know there was, like, a name for it. All right, so anyway, I'm watching the show, and the first episode I see, I was thinking it's, like, a comedy, but it was just this episode. It says man and woman, and the dude is, like, they're, like, old white trash, which they always are.
Yeah.
And so anyway, it's showing his house. Theirs is so bad, they crawl over shit to get through the house, right? At times, they're crawling over piles of shit, and they're ducking their head from hitting the ceiling.
Gosh.
Shit is stacked higher than...
What are they buying that does that?
Well, what it is, it's that they buy everything like we do. It's just nothing goes out, not trash or anything.
Like garbage.
Yeah, well, these people didn't have a ton of garbage, but yeah, quite a bit of garbage. But just stuff like in your life, just think, like, it's hard to think about, but figure out, like...
No, let's say, like, they go buy something and it has, like, that plastic stuff around it.
They keep that. Yeah.
They keep it. Why?
His thing, it's a mental thing. It's a mental, like...
Because they bought it, they can't get rid of it.
It's something...
Like, food and that kind of stuff goes out.
Hmm.
What?
Okay, here...
Maggots.
Yeah.
Rats. Mice.
Yeah, well, hoarders always have those things.
Ants.
Hoarders always have those things. They also always have pets. From what I've seen of the show, every episode I've seen is people have had pets, which is terrible. But, so this dude, they finally get down, his son is like, we gotta do something. So they bring in, like, the therapist and the cleanup crews and all that. And for one, it's just embarrassing for him, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But, so they come there and they sit him and his wife outside, and they're hauling shit out. And I'm talking, like, in some cases, literally, like, garbage, like an old Walmart bag.
They tell him, like, what does he want to keep?
Yeah, they bring stuff to him that's keepable. So, the best one. So they come to him, this lady has this pretty good-sized bag, like a big shopping bag, and it's food in it. And she's like, this is all, she tells the camera, this is all, like, expired food. So she's like, she goes by him, and he stops, and he's like, hey, no, where are you going with that? And she's like, well, sir, this is, expired, whatever. And he's like, let me see. And he grabs a Mountain Dew, an unopened 20-ounce Mountain Dew. And he's looking at it fondly, weird enough. Like, the way you would look at if you found an old picture of me and you when we were like 8. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's like, oh, I remember you. And he's looking at it, and the lady is like, she's like, now what? She's like, she looks at the label, she's like, this is expired 4 years. She's like, and you know, because you used to work in that industry, when they're expired 4 months, they're pretty gross.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally are. It's not even
the same drink.
Yeah. So he's like, well, he knows because they've already told him, you have, like, outs. If something holds sentimental value, you can
That's
keep it.
the do you can't do anymore.
yeah. Don't do the do. Yeah. So, yeah, speaking of that, their house probably smelled like dew. But, so she's like, why do you need to keep this? And to me, I'm like, how is she keeping a straight face? Because I'm over here laughing to the point I have tears running down my face watching this show. And he's like, well, for one, it holds a lot of sentimental value.
A bottle of Mountain Dew.
He didn't even have a sentimental remembering of drinking it because it was full. It couldn't have had sentimental value.
Wow.
They're fucked in the head, dude. He's like, you may not believe this, but animals love it.
What?
And she's like, excuse me? He's like, animals love it. She's like, so let me get this straight. You're feeding expired Mountain Dew to animals. And he's like, oh, they love it. And she goes, but why? And he's like, tell you why. Because they love it.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like, but should you? Like, Mountain Dew's terrible for people. I would assume it's terrible for animals. But also, I don't think he's feeding it to them. I think it's something in their brains.
Yeah.
They can't. I can throw away, like, a letter that Mom wrote to me right before she died, if I'm just like, I mean, yeah, it's sad. But as soon as it's like gone and it's like it's over, I don't remember it.
Yeah, you forget it.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
And that's what they have to do to those people, but in a large scale.
Dude, it's fucking deep because every episode I watched, and I'm sure there's other
they're going to go back
episodes.
to it.
Well, I looked into it. I was like, what is like the recidivism rate or whatever? And it's like, yeah, I mean, they do, because I guess they did at some point like an episode of like revisiting, and like generally the people are just, because what happens is
like they started back over?
Because the show provides them with like a little bit of counseling for a day, for a few, like a week that they're filming or something, and that's a good thing. But they don't build on it, and a lot of times these people don't seek counseling on their own.
Yeah.
Because generally speaking, people don't think their problems are problems.
Uh-huh.
You know, you see like 600-pound person, they can't even fit out of their fucking house, and they're just like, it's like they legitimately don't see that they have a problem.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with these hoarders. I mean, it blew my mind because, like I said, these people would crawl on top of piles of shit in their house and hit the ceiling. And I mean, these piles are way over these people's heads even.
And they're climbing.
They're just living in...
Just to go to, like, the kitchen.
They're living in... Like, to the point, like, they're sitting around the house. They're not laying on a couch or a chair or anything. They're just laying across piles of shit. Like, whatever. Like, stuff.
What the fuck?
So the guy... The Mountain Dew guy, I mean, I paused it and just sat there laughing. But, so... And then there was this other one. The dude... the lady. It was an older lady. And she clearly had, like... something wasn't right. Besides that, if you just saw her somewhere, you would know. But her thing was, her house was dirty, like gross. Like, it wasn't just stuff everywhere. It was like, the lady said, who was filming the show.
Like food sitting on a plate?
Yeah, like, worse than that even. I'll get to it. Ugh. So the lady said, who was like filming the show, said, she's like, she said, if I would have been blindfolded, I could have known which house was hers. It smelled so bad.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, they start cleaning this lady's house, and once they get through like several feet of trash on the floor, and hers, it's like food wrappers.
Yeah. Like
fucking half of eating a hamburger and shit.
It starts because remember we had something like this kind of.
Yeah, we were trashy
on our kitchen counter or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Once we get to where you can't see over it, we knew it was time to throw it away. But it was only there.
Well, my idea, yeah, we weren't. I mean, I can't imagine.
But it could have easily went to where that flowed onto the floor, and then that flowed onto this and that, and then it's like, you know what I mean?
Well, the thought that I had when I was watching it was, how much has to tweak for me to be there?
Yeah.
So, my house is like a little bit messy, and I'm okay with it being a little messy. Mm-hmm. So, if it's a little bit more messy, I'm okay with that too. If you can't see the floor at some point, am I okay with that?
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is, I think.
You can't open the door, you have to go through the window.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
At some point, because you build to that. It's not like that lady came home from work one day and...
She's got a ladder going to her second floor window because it's too cluttered on the bottom.
Well, all of these shows I've seen so far...
That's fire hazards.
That's what they always say.
Health hazards.
You can't open doors. You can't get.
You go swim through junk to get into the next room.
I mean, it would take you, especially because it's everything I've seen. It's older people because it takes years for this to set in. But it's you couldn't get from one side of the house to the other in less than like 20, 30 minutes.
God.
Even a healthy person, it would take you 5 to 10 minutes just to cross a house. Which, in general, like, how long is it? If you had to in an emergency, you could get from your back door to your front door in seconds.
Oh, yeah.
And for them, it's literally minutes, probably on the tens of minutes.
Especially if I push my kids out of the way.
Yeah.
Way fast.
Throw them behind you in case
Step on them, you know what I mean? If I'm not trying to, like, hurt anyone, you know?
But in any case, you could go through your whole house, wake up your family, if they were all in separate rooms, alert them of danger, and get them out. In less time it would take these people to move 10 feet across their house. God. But every show I've seen, the houses have structural issues because there's so much shit in them.
They're heavy.
That they're heavy and that they're pressing out against the walls. God. If they have an upstairs, which a couple of them have had an upstairs, the upstairs was about to collapse on the lower. And I guess a lot of...
it should.
Well, yeah, I know.
Right?
I guess a lot of it is probably... played up for TV, maybe. Like, there's some issues because it's an old house, but it probably would have been fine for years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But dude, the Mountain Dew guy. See, they had those same people had a gripe against the city. Mm-hmm. Like, the city was always coming in, obviously, telling them to clean up. And this guy was like, goddamn fucking communist. He was pretty cool, actually. But he's like griping. So he's fighting with the cops, and he's making like property line. He's like, if that cop crosses it, I'll shoot him or something. So that guy was entertaining, and I thought, this is a funny show, you know? Mm-hmm. And then as it went, every other one, it was like, all right, this lady's... Oh, yeah, that's the thing. The lady with the trash wrappers all over the floor, she was shitting on the floor.
Oh, my God.
For years. For so long, they don't even know. They're just like... Because they start cleaning, and it's gross. Mm-hmm. And it stinks, but it's like, of course it stinks. You know, there's like nasty stuff everywhere. And then they realize that there's shit, and then they find out that her grandkids had lived with her for a while because their mom was in jail. And they're asking them questions, and they're like, oh, yeah, she would shit and piss in cups and just leave it. So then I guess the cups would spill, and they ask her, and she's like, and here's
why would she just go to the toilet?
I don't know. She had like severe mental problems,
and there was like kids living with them.
Yeah, they would go to school and get picked on because they stunk so bad because they smelled like piss and stuff. And the kids would say that they would keep their clothes in a fucking like, you know, those plastic totes. Mm-hmm. With the lids that snap on, they would keep their clothes in that, and any kind of food they wanted, like bags of chips and shit.
A child's life finds a way.
Yeah, dude, it made me sad, dude.
Yeah, that sucks.
See, the kids were a little older. The kids were at least teenagers.
Oh, that sucks even more.
No, but what I'm saying is that's when it was when they were filming the show. Yeah. When they were talking about it, it was hard for me to gauge how long ago it was they lived there. Mm-hmm. So I was like, and I had to make myself believe they were that old because it wasn't as sad. Because if I make it, if it's like 5 and I'm like, that's my son's age, that's it would make me sad. So I was like, they're teenagers, fuck them.
They can't run and play.
Oh, no. I mean, they can't. Well, see, they got CPS got called on them.
Good.
But they didn't get taken out. And that's what the grandma said. She's like, it's not as bad as or it wasn't as bad then as they're saying, because CPS would have took them. And they asked the kids, they're like, how did that happen? And they're like, well, we tried to keep them out on the porch as much as we could. We cleaned the living room like as good as we could. So it just looked like a dirty house when CPS came. Mm-hmm. Which is like, that's dirty, but I mean...
The door's bulging.
The door's bulging up. There's like...
Everything's creaking.
The CPS is like, I mean, there's shit on the floor, but other than that, it's a nice place. Like,
they're like, instead of shit, do you have a dog? They're like, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, dude. They
Quit feeding it corn.
Why is it wiping with an old receipt? But they would say, like, they said, yeah, so she would shit and piss. And I asked the girl, because it was a girl and a boy, and they're like, did she ever do that while you were present? And she's like, yeah. She's like, she would pee in a cup and then tell me to go pour it out in the bush.
Oh.
And they're like, what about defecating? And she's like, yeah. So all I could imagine was an old granny. Because she was an old, like...
Yeah. Shit in a cup and give it to a kid to go...
I can just see an old granny, like, squatting down over a cup, holding it under, and she's like... Her daughter's like, Granny, are the cookies almost done? She's like, just a minute, honey. Granny's busy. But they asked her, they said... So at the time that they were doing the show, her bathroom wasn't functioning. Like, toilet didn't work, no water to the bathroom, it was a fucking disaster. And they asked her, they said, at the time when they asked the kids, when you lived there, was there a working bathroom? And they're like, yeah, we used it. So she just shit in the living room just for the fuck of it. She's like,
wow. She's like, I ain't walking up the hallway to the bathroom.
And they showed it. The living room where all the shit was, it was... All right, so imagine your house, from your living room to your son's room. Mm-hmm. Like where, again, if you sit by the door of your living room, the bathroom was where your son's room is. I'm talking...
And she wouldn't go there.
4 or 5 steps if you take big strides, right? So, they ask her, they're like, why were you... And she's a little old lady, like in her late 70s. And she's sitting there, she looks cute. She looks like she'd be knitting you a sweater. And she's just sitting there and she's like, well...
She's just shitting you a sweater.
Yeah, she's sitting there shitting a sweater. I feel like she probably ate a little bit of yarn, so she may have shit a sweater. But she looks like this sweet old lady, and it doesn't compute in my brain that she was shitting on the floor. I want to see it. I wish they had footage of her shitting on the floor. Is she like just squatting, looking around like a wild animal? Yeah. She wasn't fat. She was a thin. Like, it wasn't like she was so fat she couldn't get out of a room. You know what I'm saying? But they would ask her, and when it came down to, because she would deny stuff or say it wasn't that bad or the kids are lying or something. But when it came down to, they're like, okay, we're cleaning in there and we found shit in your living room. Human shit, right? So, like, what's going on? And she's like, depression it's so bad. And it gets like, and I'm like, bitch, I have at times pretty severe depression. Never has it even occurred to me to drop a deuce in the living room.
You're like, but now.
Yeah. I'm asking the lady, like, did it help ease the depression?
Yeah.
She's like, no.
Shit. Wow.
But I've definitely been, have you ever been like, this is a fat guy thing. You're eating, you just start eating, and then it hits you that you got to shit, and you're like, all right, do I hurry and finish eating and then go shit? Or do I go shit and then come back and eat so I can enjoy it more?
Yeah. I've
had that dilemma.
Yeah.
I've also had a dilemma where I sat down and had to either piss or shit, and I'm watching a movie, and I just started, and the opening credits are over, and it's just started, and then it hits me, I got to piss or shit, and I'm like, I'm going to hold it, I don't want to go. Maybe that was her situation. You know, she's like in the middle of a time to kill.
She's always in the middle of a movie.
Yeah.
Right?
They found
she gets the feeling for needing to shit, and she thinks that means watch a movie. Right? She gets it backwards.
Depression is a bitch.
Yeah.
But it isn't like... Our grandma suffered from depression pretty bad.
I don't remember shit cuts
so what I'm saying, if you ever walked in and Granny was just popping a squat...
Yeah.
And dropping a fucking log in the living room.
Yeah.
Like, where do you go from there?
Yeah. She got a little puppy pad.
like, what's your next move? Do you just leave and act like you didn't see it?
You get one of those little bags and turn it inside out in your hand. You go and do it. You know what I mean? You rub her nose in it.
That's what the therapist should have done. I bet it would have been effective.
Oh, shit.
Because, see... They talk
she
about...
hikes up a leg.
They hit her with newspaper. They spray that fucking water spray in her face. But they sent her to a place, so she was like institutionalized. It was like a nursing home.
The grandkids are like, come on, throw her a bone.
So they had her in like a nursing home type place for a while. And they even said, like, one of the
front of her house is just a huge doggy door.
I mean...
It sounds like it's just one big dog house.
Doesn't it also sound like not real?
Yeah.
Like...
I've seen these things, and I think, like, all right, they had to have just found this place. It looks like someone, like a dumpster just got...
We know it's real because we said Curtis's mom was like that. Mm-hmm. Although I don't know that she shit on the floor. I know her house stunk so bad when we would go over there for meals, I would never...
Yeah, they had birds, too, though.
Oh, my God. I can remember the smell of birds.
So anyways, though, normally when I've... The episodes I've seen, it's been years, though, is you can tell that there used to be some kind of a uniform to it. If there's, like...
There almost always is some uniform to it, except
like
for the
stacks
shit lady.
Against the wall, and then there's something in the hall, in the corner, and then it's, like, from that, you can tell it's either... just overgrown, and then just...
You'll see similar type items in an area.
Yeah.
And then on top of it is things that are... As you get deeper out...
Sometimes they'll say they started cleaning.
Yeah.
They'll say they started cleaning.
There's no cleaning when your house gets to that.
No. But they're cleaning off the trash and just putting it back.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you wipe the cheese off of a Whataburger wrapper and set it back on the living room?
Onto another one?
Yeah.
Right? They have like a Whataburger wrapper that just has a bunch of different piles of cheese on it.
It's like, when did Whataburger have Swiss?
They're like, the dogs love it.
Yeah. They're like, you give them a Whataburger cheese and some Mountain Dew, they go crazy. But what I was saying is they'll have a stack of similar things. Let's say like FedEx boxes, since I'm looking at one in the corner here. They have a stack of FedEx, and then as it, like, around it is things similar to that. And then as you get further away, the things are less and less similar to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what it looks like. You could tell that there was but the thing is, the best case scenario, if you were to go into these houses and not get rid of anything, but just reorganize, there is no way. There's simply... One guy's house was 3,700 square feet, which is a big house.
Holy shit.
That's a way bigger than mine or your house. Like a big, big house. Way bigger than mine and your house.
He started getting trash. He's like, we're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah. Right? So his was so packed that you could see little walkways. And then they were like squeezed down. In places, he's a little dude. the size of my father-in-law, just for your reference. And he would have to turn sideways to get through.
Shit.
Well, he got so junked out of his house that he couldn't stay in it anymore. And he stayed in a little camper trailer on his property.
Oh, gosh.
And the ceiling was falling on it. And he lived in Alaska, and it didn't have heat. And winter was coming. And this guy, he has
like a little igloo made into the trash.
I mean, that's what he needs.
Right?
He needs a trash igloo.
He goes in there, he's got a little fire.
Yeah.
He's like, I haven't seen humans in like...
I mean, this guy was
weeks.
fucking wild. So, he had 5 acres. And he used to be like a contractor. So, he had like forklifts and dozers and heavy equipment that was just broke down, rusted to shit, right? But he had 100 cars. I think they said 100 vehicles, counting heavy equipment. And that was his thing. So when they started throwing shit away, almost everything they threw away he was okay with. And his son kept telling him, he's like, it's the cars. They're like, the cars are going to be the problem. And they're like, whatever. Because they think like, oh, he'll throw away this fucking deer antler and this like trophy or something that he found. They're like, but they get to the cars, dude. People come there to buy the cars in some cases. I mean, they're old shit boxes. But people give them like, somebody's like, I'll give you $400 for that. He's like, I can't do it. He had a weird emotional connection to these old shit cars. At one point, a guy comes and there's...
Did they get rid of them?
Well, the show didn't get that far.
Killed them.
Right? A lot of times these shows...
He put them in one of the trunks.
He's like, it's 100 of them. Good luck finding a body. But a lot of times these shows don't... Actually, every episode I've seen, it doesn't come to a conclusion.
Like, it doesn't show the house clean.
Sometimes it kind of shows it like fairly clean. The saddest thing is what clean looks like.
Oh, yeah.
If your wife came home one day and your house looked the way these houses look when they're clean, she would probably just murder-suicide you.
Yeah.
Because there's fucking like mold on the walls and fucking just shit like, just, I don't even know what you call it, but just like icky on the walls. You just can see that they're sticky and the carpets are just stained all the shit.
Yeah.
Your house, the dirtiest it's ever been, that's including when me and you live together, is 100 times cleaner than their houses when they're perfectly clean. But so this truck guy, this car guy, eventually some guy comes and he finds there's this old black Ford. And the guy is coming to haul off a bunch of cars. And he's like, hey, you're not going to believe this. I used to own that black Ford. I bought that for my son years and years ago. We ended up getting rid of it after it crashed. And the guy's like, well, you know what? If it's going to go to a good home, you can take it. So the hoarder guy he treats those cars like his kids to him in his head.
Oh, shit.
And he thinks if
he
it's going...
signed adoption papers.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
When they're pulling away with it on the tow truck...
He's got, like, tears.
He kisses his hand and, like, touches the truck.
Shit.
It's just a shitbox old Ford.
Yeah.
It's a cool-looking truck if it ran. But you can see it. It doesn't have an engine.
He starts running after it.
Yeah. Right? He's like, just go. Go. He throws a stick at it. You're better off without me anyway.
He sneaks over there at night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He brings it kibbles and bits for some reason.
Oh, wow. Mountain Dew. He pours Mountain Dew in the night.
Yeah, he's like, you're not going to believe this. They love it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so he finds the next day somebody just happens to come by his house, a friend of his, and tells him, he's like, dude, he's like, where's your black truck? And he's like, oh, this guy Jimmy took it. Him and his son used to own it years ago. And he's like, no, they didn't. I know the guy who owned that truck before you. So this guy gets pissed. He's like, I ain't getting rid of nothing. That guy's a fucking liar. He's freaking out. So they bring the guy back. Turns out that guy did own it. Or I don't know. But he's so... Imagine that. I mean, I'm talking shit.
Yeah.
A truck that...
And he was mad because it was gone. Because it was supposed to go to a good home.
And what they said was, what these people do is they make... Yeah, that's what they said. They said he's given his stuff human qualities, saying he wants it to go to a good home. Dude, I recently got rid of my car. Like, traded in. I don't care if it goes to a meth house...
Yeah.
I don't care if it goes to somebody who uses it to drive down the sidewalk and murder school children. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I can't imagine.
It's not like they're going to end up being like, who owned this car previously?
Yeah. It's
right?
like,
they come and arrest you.
It's like how
what?
dare you raise that car that way?
Yeah.
It's like...
I didn't know the car would do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I
swear it never did that when I was a...
I was just going to get a cup of coffee.
Sure, I let it play Grand Theft Auto when it was little.
It pulled up onto the sidewalk and just started mowing them down. I in no way enjoyed it. Right?
Yeah. But it isn't like... I told you what I said when we first started talking. I thought it was just junky houses. I was like, junky houses, whatever. But it really is like a mental thing. Like, this dude was crying.
Some of the houses are nice on the outside.
Well, this
I've seen
dude,
some of those and then you go on the inside and it's like
you're like, it's
the door won't open all the way.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But this dude ended up, they didn't even know about it at first because his property was overgrown and too many cars. There was an old house in the back. He's on 5 acres. I mean, it's not a huge place. You could lose a house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so there's this old house in the back, and they find it, and it's not that junky. And they clean it out, and I mean, when they get done, it's like you'd live in it. It's the only one I saw that. And they're like, here's you can live here. And he goes in, and he's like all happy, and they got it all fancy. And I mean, the carpet looks like rough, but other than that, they have his old military uniform hanging up, and it's all soldiers helping him. And his bedroom, I mean, it's nice. You know, I would sleep in that room.
There were soldiers of torture for him, right?
Yeah, I mean, he hated it. So they tell him, like, this is your place. And then it cuts to, at the end, it shows, like, words, you know? And it's like, he had to move back into the hoarder house because when winter came, he didn't have, like, heat and stuff in that house.
Oh, that's that one.
And it's like, he's going to get it fixed before whatever.
Yeah, they say that at the end.
It'll be so full of shit before. I don't want to hear he's gonna about a guy who has so much junk on his property that they lost a house.
Wow.
I mean, the house he lost was like it looked to me like about 1,200 square foot house. A big house.
Wow.
But I wondered, and this was the thought I had. This is not one of the reasons I brought this up. I was thinking, like, I was looking around at my house, watching it, and I was looking around my house. My son's, my house, my son's toys are always out, right?
Yeah. So
my son's toys are scattered on the floor. There's a fucking Whataburger cup sitting there. And I was like, how much further would I have to go to get them over here? You know, I just was imagining it in my head. We have 12-foot ceilings, right? So I could stack a lot of shit in my house. But I was thinking, wouldn't it be...
You have to spend so much money just buying shit to do that.
I don't have enough stuff, because everything I do own... I guess I could take shit from the garage, but still.
So let's think, like, the game's starting, right? Oh, there's a big game Sunday. You know?
Yeah.
And then he invites his friends over.
Yeah.
And they're all just, like, sitting on piles of shit.
Well, these people are always loners.
Yeah.
Because they...
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, They don't do that.
No. They have the mental issue of that they do this, but they're not so far gone that they think it's normal. And you can tell that because even the ones that had kids... Mm-hmm. Even this guy had older kids, but they would say when they were kids, it was pretty bad getting there, and they wouldn't have friends over. He said the son said he had a friend over one time, and the friend was like blown away, and then I guess mentioned it to people, and then he got picked on all the time, like, "Oh, your house is so messy."
Oh, he ratted him out.
Because you know how kids are, dude. If you come to school wearing like a goofy shirt.
Yeah, you wear a red shirt 2 days in a row, and now all of a sudden you're the red shirt.
Yeah, you're a red shirt guy. So if there's a story going around that your dad has fucking, shit stacked to the ceiling, I mean, it's...
Or you order a pizza, the guy can't open the door to come in.
He opens it, pizza boxes like flood out on top of him. He's like, looks like
he gets all confused with the ones he just brought.
Yeah, he doesn't
ones, so he gives it to you free because he can't,
But that happens though, where it's like those people definitely have the mental illness that caused them to do this. But like I said, they're self-aware. They know that it's fucked up, and they'll talk about it like there's something they call it, but it's like they make excuses. It's like, yeah, my house is kind of messy, but I'm gonna clean up before Christmas because they always have these weird things. Like, clearly you're not gonna clean it up.
Yeah, they keep telling themselves that.
People who
I'm gonna go a diet after this next holiday.
Exactly, dude.
Right?
I thought that. It's funny you said that because when I was watching, I was like, I was trying to piece it together in my mind. I was like, it's everybody probably has a variation of it. It's different people, and I was like, oh, it's like fat.
Yeah,
it's like fat. You don't really it gets out of control. I can remember being like, I remember a few years after high school, I weighed like 270, and I remember thinking like, oh, that's not nothing. In high school, I weighed 265. That's only 5 pounds. I was like, that's not bad for like 4 or 5 years later.
Yeah.
But the reality is, in high school, I played sports and lifted weights 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And sure, and was overweight.
Now you're lifting plates.
Yeah, exactly.
3 times a day.
Not only was I was way more muscular and active, I also was at that time overweight.
Yeah.
And now I'm more pounds overweight and way more out of shape. Because I was like, but you rationalize. And it's like anything. It's like, I'm going to start a diet in February or whatever. Or, oh, well,
After this pizza, I'll be done, because that'll be half. I'll have half tomorrow. And then you're like, all right, we're just going to finish this. We'll get another one tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
You know this one, though. It's like, so I heard this psychiatrist thing talking, and it was talking about people who stress about eating bad, which I do. Mm-hmm. I'll be eating ice cream and just hating myself. And being like, all right, I'm gonna have to, I can't do this anymore. When I'm done with this, I'm getting back to working out. Fuck it, I'm going to do 500 push-ups tomorrow. And you're stressing yourself because you're eating and stressing. And what this therapist said was, if you're eating bad is bad for you. Stress is bad for you. Don't do both. If you're going to eat bad, just be like, hey, I'm fat. I'm eating bad.
Yeah.
And as bad as that is, it's better than... Now, the obvious is the best thing to do is to not eat bad so that you don't stress about eating bad. But if you're going to eat bad anyway, they're like, just say, look, I'm the guy that eats a whole pizza. I'm the guy that... whatever. And it's true because I haven't, I'm sure you do, because you have lost weight, gained weight, lost, so you know when you're eating pizza, what that does to you. You're like, all right, I'm only gain weight. We've talked about it. If you're a fat person, and I mean in your brain, like if you've ever been fat, you're either losing or gaining weight. There is no static.
No.
You're not, well, I'll just be 240 for the rest of my life. No, you won't. You're either be 180 or 400 pounds because you're either gaining weight. And I think
until you're dead, and then you're nothing.
Yeah, then you start losing weight again. I bet there's a certain point 2 weeks after a fat guy's dead where he's killing it.
Yeah.
He's like 165, But it's the same as those fucking hoarders.
Speaking of pizza.
Oh, dude. How have we not talked about this?
Speaking of ordering pizza, I've been thinking about this. We wanted to talk about this the other day and we forgot. So, what was that, like 2 weeks ago tomorrow, wasn't it?
It was a weekend. Yeah, probably 2 weeks ago.
It was on a Friday, I think. So, anyways, I call up Jeremy. I'm like, hey, let's throw the football. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So, I go over there and he's like, yeah, we just ordered a pizza.
I had ordered a pizza before you called to say you were coming over.
Yeah.
I'm not an asshole that ordered one pizza when your whole family was coming over.
We also got Little Caesars.
It just turns out that me and you eat pizza a lot.
We ordered Little Caesars, or, we picked it up or whatever, took it to the house. And, we weren't ready to eat. We just, got it. You know what I mean? We were going to eat later that evening. Yeah. But anyways, it was going to get dark pretty soon. So
you were pre-gaming pizza.
I wanted to go over to your house, and we were going to throw the football for a little bit. Exercise before I eat a whole pizza.
Yeah, let the kids play.
Yeah. So anyways, I go over there, and you're like, oh, yeah, we ordered a pizza. Because recently, Pizza Hut delivers to our town.
Yeah, we live in a tiny town that, in the existence of humanity, pizza doesn't be delivered here.
Yeah.
But because of COVID, they deliver here now.
Yeah, from another town.
Yeah.
So, it's like 13 miles away.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we're sitting there throwing the football, and the pizza guy shows up. And Jeremy goes over there, right? To get the pizza from the guy. And he gives you this bag, because they put it in a fucking bag.
They put your pizza in a hazmat suit.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, pizza is probably more likely to kill me than COVID.
Yeah.
So chill out with the hazmat.
You killed the pizza.
The hazmat should prevent me from eating the pizza.
So he takes it inside and drops it off, comes back outside to throw the football. And his wife comes out and asks if he had ordered pizza. And he's like, no, she did or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or y'all each thought, I guess the other one ordered more.
No, she knew. She said, did you... I think what happened was she thought I ordered more pizza because I knew y'all were coming. And I was like, she's like, did you order what we said? Because we just had ordered one pizza. And I was like,
wings.
Yeah, one pizza and wings. And I was like, yeah, I ordered one pizza. So yeah.
They end up giving him 3 pizzas
and wings. So we ordered one pizza, got 3.
Yeah. So anyways, you're like, you want to stay? So the guy left.
But
thank you, whatever he left.
It's just so you understand. I knew as soon as he opened the back of his truck that he had fucked up.
Yeah.
I knew that he was giving me 3 pizzas, and I knew I had ordered one. I was like, fuck it.
So he ends up driving off, and he's like, I want to stay and eat pizza? I'm like, fuck it, let's stay.
We had a pizza party.
We have 2 full pizzas at the house.
Yeah.
I think I ate 2 slices before I went over there. I think that's what it was. Anyways, but I was going to eat more when I go back.
So at my house...
That was the appetizer.
Oh, and he also gave us a gallon of tea.
Was he supposed to?
I didn't order tea.
It was good.
Yeah, it was.
All right. If I would have known that, I would have drank more. Anyways, so we're sitting there eating pizza on the porch.
We had a pizza party. Our kids were playing
everywhere. Yeah,
his 2 kids and my 1 kid were playing in the pool and running around the yard, eating pizza.
Like an hour later, we're sitting there, we're joking around, eating pizza, And then, like, around the corner comes this Pizza Hut guy again.
He almost pulled into our driveway.
Oh, my God. He was coming down here. I'm like, dude, he's coming back. And I was like, oh, no. Like, we're going to be in trouble.
I know.
Like, we stole the fucking pizza.
Just because some fucking retard
We
gave
didn't
us
steal
pizza.
it. It was given to us.
Yeah.
It was a donation.
Also,
From one fat guy to two others.
all right, look, it's not, I would steal pizza. I have stole pizza. I've told the story here before.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't care about stealing pizza. But in this case, there was, even if I wanted to, which I didn't, there was nothing I could have done because he handed me the pizza, 3 pizzas stacked up, wrapped up in a fucking hazmat bag.
Yeah.
So it's like, we had the pizza. But we talked about, when we were eating our pizza for the next hour or so, I told you, I said, I guarantee you this pizza was supposed to go to somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
And he had it in...
It was 2 different of pizza. It wasn't like they were both pepperonis or something.
We both made the same comment. One of the kinds of pizza they gave us that we didn't order was a kind of pizza we both said was like an older person would order. Mm-hmm. It was a chicken Parmesan pizza.
Yeah, chicken...
Alfredo
Chicken
pizza. Alfredo pizza.
It was pretty good.
A young person wouldn't order that probably. No. And I was like, we both said it. We're like, it seems like someone older. But I said, this pizza was supposed to be somebody's, and now they're not going to get their pizza.
Yeah, so when that guy pulls up and he's going down the road, he's coming towards us. And I'm like, oh gosh, fuck. You know what I mean? I'm like, we're going to leave. And then he passes us while looking at us.
He started to pull in my driveway, remember?
Yeah. He looked like he was starting to pull in
He turned in towards my driveway and then veered out and pulled to my neighbor's right past my driveway.
Yeah, he stopped at the neighbor's house, pulled over on the side of the road, got his stuff out, and then walked up the sidewalk to their house, staring at us.
My direct neighbor.
Staring at us.
Yeah.
Like it was the side-by-side house. Yes.
He was staring through us. He was angry with us.
So he ends up going to the door,
He's
giving
like,
the pizza.
Fat motherfuckers.
It's fucking dark as shit now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it was seriously probably like 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
I would say when he brought our pizzas... It was probably 7-ish.
7:45 or so. It was getting dark.
Yeah,
it was still daylight for a little while.
It was at least an hour later that he brought my neighbor's pizzas.
It was dark when he showed up for them.
And if you haven't caught on to this yet by listening, we're almost positive that the first time he gave me mine and my neighbor's pizza by accident.
Probably because they see that 2 go to our town. And it's like the numbers are so close together.
Yeah, it's like...
It must have been... What's the chances?
We live on the same street, and my house number's 306, and his is 308, or something like that.
Yeah.
And they accidentally put them in the same bag.
Yeah.
And gave us a... So my neighbor waited... We waited a long time, remember?
Yeah.
My pizza was 30 minutes late to me. Mm-hmm. So that means my neighbor waited at least an hour and a half.
That means y'all... All right, so the chances of y'all ordering about the same time...
Yeah.
And it's the same place in the same town. It's like it's almost not even their fault. You know?
Well, it's one of those weird things.
Think about it though. If they would have got the pizza instead of you,
it's kind of like when Andy.
I would have called and complained for you.
I would have been pissed. Yeah. It's kind of like when Andy on Shawshank Redemption, he didn't kill his wife, but he was going to kill his wife, had a gun and everything, and then she got murdered, and it's such a coincidence that it's like, of course you did it. Same thing with that pizza.
Yeah, but you didn't have to end up spending all those years in a cell.
If I did 19 years in a fucking prison because I ate my neighbor's pizza, I had to chisel out with a pizza cutter,
Oh, yeah.
It's like...
Pretty good.
Yeah. But, you're trying to think of puns. I can see your wheels turning.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, anyway. So, I need to ask, because I talked to the neighbor's friendly. He's friend-ish of mine. I need to ask him one day just casually, like, I think I'm just going to one day when I'm talking be like, hey, man, you know how they deliver pizza here now? It's like, yeah. So you ever try that chicken Alfredo pizza? That's a fucking good one. He's like, my wife loves it, but one time it came late, something like because when
so did she.
When we saw that pizza guy...
Usually she don't come at all.
I'm like, yeah, she does. Ugh.
Yeah, that's nice.
She is pretty gross. But anyway, yeah, that pizza, and I was telling you at the time, I had a pizza that I had paid for, that I had wanted and paid for, and I had 2 others. The 2 others tasted so much better. The 2 free pizzas.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Yeah.
It's weird, though, because, like, it's exactly the same as stealing. Mm-hmm. We had something that we didn't pay for, we ate it, enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. But, no, the funny thing is, dude, on the way here to record, I passed the same pizza guy.
He's been in town a lot lately.
I was like, man, I'm just waiting for him to just bring me pizza when I didn't order any.
I don't think it was him that fucked up.
No, I don't think it was either.
I think it's just that they just thought it was...
I think they just saw 2 orders that are around the same time of almost the exact same address.
Like 607, like 609. They're like, okay, they both look like... And with the handwriting of those, they could both look the same.
Yeah, I think they just accidentally gave me
maybe someone ordered a pizza and wings, and they're like, oh, let's order 2 more pizzas.
But I paid like $20
with a different credit card and a different name.
Yeah,
right?
I paid $20 for 3 pizzas. It wasn't a gallon, a half gallon of tea and wings.
Yeah,
which probably would have been like what, $50 maybe, something like that. But anyway, yeah. So they the moral of the story is, I don't know, order pizza. There's no moral.
Orders and
we're bad in that story.
Orders and hoarders.
We're bad in that story, I think. Not that we could have done anything, but we could have at least said like, "Hey, sorry," whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it was a good pizza.
Save the pizza, so in case the guy comes back.
Yeah, no, there's nothing we could do.
But hey, sir, here's those pizzas. He's like, okay, I want to throw them in the trash, but thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they would have thrown them in the trash because we could have had Corona.
I mean, maybe I did spit Corona on it.
You know,
but I don't know. I don't care about. I don't like their safe delivery system.
Yeah,
it bugs me. What are you telling me?
I fucking
if somebody sneezes when they're cutting the pizza, who cares? What
everything is changing now. Like all businesses are changing now. It's going to be like a lasting thing for a while too, of how they're taking care of this whole Corona thing. And I hate the fucking commercials.
Yeah,
we're still here to help you. Whatever.
Because they're not filming new commercials, so they're just doing.
We're
new
all
voiceovers.
Here together.
Yeah.
Right?
They're just
we're in this together. Oh, we're fucking not. I mean, you want my money.
We're in this together in that it's happening to a bunch of people, but if a bunch of people get shot in the head, they're in it together.
Like the actors and stuff that did the whole, we're here together and
we're not. You're a millionaire. It's not affecting you.
Yeah.
I have to stay in my shitty mansion.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I mean, most people are at home and they're not getting paid and they're wondering how they're going to pay their bills. Those people are just at home not having to act. Yeah,
I'm sure they're worried about, they're going to lose out on money.
They're acting like they're hating it. That's the only acting they're doing right now.
I'm sure that, it's pretty nice. It sucks being cramped up in this 12,000 square foot house.
Staycation. Someone called it that.
Well, people like us, like me and you aren't affected financially really that much. But people at our level you're stuck with your wife in a small house, and it's really rough.
I'm surprised, the murder rate hasn't come up.
I've heard that people aren't fucking at the same rate. People aren't fucking that much.
They thought there would be more.
They thought there was going to be a bunch of, quarantine babies.
A big, baby boom thing.
But I keep hearing stats, and who knows? Has anybody asked you if you're fucking? When they say, this percent of fucking is down, nobody's asked me or you.
Yeah.
Who are they asking? You know what I'm saying? And also, the kind of people that are going to answer honestly probably don't get laid.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I never answer any survey honestly.
Yeah.
I always make a fucking mockery of it. So I assume most people do, so I don't trust any surveys.
He's like, I've been laying more pipe than I was at work.
Yeah.
The plumber.
Yeah. It's like, what'd you do? It's I was the chief fry guy at McDonald's. I'm like, you weren't laying pipe at work.
Yeah.
But
he's like, I've been flipping more buns than I was at work. It's a plumber. Anyways.
Yeah. But so if you're out there laying pipe, if you're not laying pipe, we're all in this together. Yeah. But you would imagine, your first thought is you're going to be fucking a lot.
You're at home, you're not doing nothing, fuck it. But then it's just you're at home, you're not showering.
Yeah, and depression.
She's not showering.
Yeah, you're having depression. A lot of people are having issues with that. Also, your kids never leave the house and are probably staying up super late because there's no school. Yeah. So it's there's probably different people are different, but people have fucking...
And the power's out, so there's no AC, everyone's sweating.
Wait, your power's out?
No.
Oh.
I'm just saying they can't pay their bills.
I just went out the other day when a storm came through.
They can't pay their bills.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you know what the thing is, too? I always hear this, and I don't know if it would affect me or not, but people have, they can't get boners when they're unemployed. It's they don't...
What?
Yeah,
Oh, they're not manly.
They don't feel manly, maybe.
Yeah.
Or
that doesn't make any sense, though. Because there's plenty of black dudes that don't have jobs.
Fucking white girls.
And they're fucking, right?
Yeah, but you know all that.
They're not fucking them with limp dicks.
No, but
right?
they could.
Yeah,
they're limp, but they're still like girthy enough. You could get it.
You gotta just wedge it in there,
dude. When my dick's not hard, I don't know if you're the same. I don't have good soft dick.
Yeah.
If my dick's not hard, it is absolutely like
it's not gonna go in there.
Not physically possible for me to fuck.
Yeah,
I'd be better off stuffing my balls in something. I mean, I'm serious.
I don't think that.
So I'm so jealous of people that got good soft dicks. Like their dick is like...
Really? That's a thing you clearly think about.
You don't? I'll say that you never talk about it, but I have a feeling you have a pretty good piece. I've never seen it, but because of the way your hands and feet are...
I don't think of that, though. Like, oh, man, I'm jealous of that guy. He's probably got a good soft dick. I'm not thinking of that.
Yeah, but you're also like... There's something... I'm more open about things that are kind of weird, I guess. But I would like to have, like, you'll see sometimes a dick, and it's like just sitting there floppy, like 5 or 6 inches, you know, pretty thick. When my dick's soft, like, sometimes there's a good soft day. It's just, It's all about humidity, temperature, moon cycles, I don't know. But generally, when my dick's soft, I don't want anybody to see. Like, I've never taken my pants off when I'm, like, gonna mess around with a girl until I'm pretty hard. No girl. I mean, I've been married for a long time. I'm sure she's just seen me walk around the house with my fucking little dick hanging out, but I don't care what she thinks, you know? But
she's like, yeah, I'm not fucking you.
Yeah. But aside from my wife, like, no girl has ever just seen my soft dick. I don't want them to. They don't want to. It's gross. And people are
like, I don't like soft serve.
Yeah, exactly. It comes out in a little swirl. I hold it upside down at the end to show her that it's good.
Oh, shit.
But, yeah, I don't know, dude. I feel like because of the way you talk about things, you never say it, but I feel like you got a pretty good piece.
I don't know.
Also, your wife is out of your league, and you're not wealthy. So you're doing... I don't think your wife's the kind that would care about dicks, though.
No.
She's too, like, sweet. I feel like...
Maybe not plural.
Don't tell me if I'm wrong, because I know you have kids and all that, but I feel like your wife's, like, a virgin. I don't want to believe that your sweet wife...
She has kids.
...has ever done anything sexual.
She has kids.
Yeah, but it was, like, artificial insemination, or...
Might have been.
Your wife is such a, like, I don't know, maybe I hold her to a weird esteem in my head. But I'm just like, she's too, like, sweet. And the other day, dude, the other day I was at your house. We're working in here, right? And I saw some dude checking your wife out. And for a second I was like, why is he... It didn't occur to me that, I guess, like a chick hanging out in the yard with short shorts on would be... It didn't occur to me. I was like, why would he be checking her out?
Yeah.
I know she's pretty, but I was just like, she's not like a sexual being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like your sister.
Yeah. It is. I guess that's what it is. If somebody checked out our sister, I would go check on their mental health.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be like, woohoo, at our sister.
Yeah. They're like, woo.
But the point of all this was, I feel like you have a pretty good piece, but you just don't like to talk about it. I mean, you got long fingers. You're lanky. You're not way tall, but you have the dimensions of a tall guy. That's prime big dick person. Me, thick hands. Not very long fingers, but thick hands. Yeah. I have a thick dick and not very long. That's what I have. I think that's a pretty good indicator. But anyway...
This has been
the Dick Vibe podcast.
Yeah,
it is like interesting though, like that you don't have any thoughts about. You wouldn't just like to have like a good like where if your dick's showing, everybody's just like, oh, nice. Nobody's like.
No, I don't think of that.
I'm like hot and sweaty right now. If my dick was showing, my dick couldn't be showing right now. I don't know what you'd see if you looked. I mean, you'd know that I have a dick. You're like, that's clearly a man's dick, but...
Yeah.
I mean...
I don't know.
I just wish I had a good...
I really, like, don't think about that.
But you do wish you had, like...
It seems like you do all day.
No. But you do... Everybody wishes they had a bigger dick, except people whose dick's so big it's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's like,
a smaller dick? He's like, no.
Yeah,
I don't wish I had a smaller dick.
I like what
I wish your girl could handle it better.
He wishes women had bigger pussies. Yeah. But you see, like, in porn sometimes, these dicks that are, like, preposterous.
Yeah.
And those guys might actually...
I'm like, what are they feeding that thing for real? Like, what are they...
Theirs bigger as my forearm.
Like, it's gotta be, like... surgery.
Now, this is like audio.
Well, like those people have those like elephant, whatever it is.
Elephantitis?
Yeah, of the dick.
Yeah, but that's not what this is important. These are just men with big dicks. You know how like
not just big though. Like these things are.
I'm telling you, I've seen ones the size of my forearm.
Yeah.
And my forearm is big for a forearm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'm a big guy, and their dicks are as big as my foot. Like that is retarded. Yeah. And that's what their dick is. Those guys, I wonder if they're ever like. I mean, of course they do porn or whatever, but they're ever just like, God, I wish I had just some more. Because what do you do when you got that big of a dick and you're 16 and your girlfriend finally like.
Yeah.
You've been dating for a while, and your girlfriend's like, I think we should do it. And then you pull that out, and she's like, what would I do with that?
Yeah.
She's like,
that ain't going in there.
She's like, that doesn't fit between my hands. Like, you can't fuck a virgin when your dick is
his finger is like tight in there.
What do?
That's not gonna. I mean, it just sucks.
They just had their first girlfriend has to be an all fucking wallered out fucking.
Yeah.
Her pussy looks like a pig pen.
That's why she ends up going like meth and drug addict. You know what I mean?
But they say pussies always go back.
Yeah, they retract.
Yeah. Although once they go black, they never go back. You know,
that's what that means. That's what that means.
That's exactly what that means.
It has nothing to do with like a girl wanting only black guys after that. It's just that she can only have black guys.
The barn door can open, but it can't close.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, dude. I don't want that big of a dick. So I imagine that the people who have them are like, God, I wish I just had like a solid 10-inch.
It's like a happy burden. Kind of.
I mean, it's awesome to have too big of a dick because it's a cool thing for people to say about you.
Yeah.
But it isn't fun when you. I mean, I'm talking about like when you're a teenager. I've, as an adult, had sex with women that I know could not have sex with a dude with that big of a dick.
Yeah.
These are like grown people. Mm-hmm. Their dicks are as big as a pussy opens up during childbirth.
Yeah.
Do you have to get an epidural every time you fuck your girlfriend? You know. You like count down from 100, and then you start unzipping your pants. But anyway, yeah, I wish my dick was bigger. You don't. For some reason.
I just don't think about that. I guess I'm not just like that guy probably has a nice.
I don't think
dick.
about it like that. I'm just saying once I
see him in slow motion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you have
You're
seen like
look at the dick on that. Right?
You have seen like somebody's in basketball shorts, and you're like, come on, man. Like, wear tights or something. It's fucking ridiculous. Oh. Fucking big old fold. I know sometimes I'll be sitting and there'll be a fold in my jeans that's just right. I didn't fix it that way.
Yeah.
But it looks like I got a fucking huge piece and I try to be real still. I'm like, all right, Jeremy, don't even move. Don't take a breath. I just got like a fucking hog. And who am I impressing? You know what I mean?
Yourself.
I know. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's up under the table.
Yeah.
I'm at my son's fucking graduation ceremony or whatever, and I'm just like...
You're like, hey, man, can you pick that up down there?
Yeah. Oh, don't mind me. I'll try to move out of the way.
Yeah.
Dude, anyway, do we have time, or should we just... I'll save it for next week.
Yeah, for next week.
Okay.
All right, so anyways, this has been episode 126. Please like, subscribe, find us on YouTube, everything on there. We do not have a $100 million deal with Spotify yet. We have not signed. Right?
We're mulling over our options.
Now, the deal was Rogan got one. We're supposed to get one. But we haven't got it yet.
They were like, look.
We're open for options. We'll take less.
They were like, look, we want to get Rogan this big deal, but we want some funny podcasts on Spotify too. So
We'll take a little less as long as we can do what we always do.
Spotify, we are on Spotify.
Yeah.
If you want to check us out there, you just don't have to.
Yeah, for free. But I don't know if they're probably going to start charging or something, right? And then like, what is it? Laughable's going to just go down the fucking drain.
Laughable's gone, dude.
So, anyways, all right. So this has been episode 126. As always, if you're listening to this, you are the bad vibe.